A group of police officers and medical personnel are participating in a two-day training workshop focused on how to properly deal with and treat sexual assault victims through forensic science, the collection of evidence, and the neurology of trauma. The Pan American Development Foundation, in conjunction with the U.S. State Department, has been hosting the workshop for the past 2 years. Latara Evans is the country's coordinator, and Jana French is the conference's facilitator.
The journey is very long. From the initial stage of being assaulted, you would then present yourself to the police, and then your next contact would be with medical staff. And so we would like for both personnel, medical as well as law enforcement, to be on the same page in their treatment and their execution of dealing with victims.
Some of the things that's important for both law enforcement and the medical staff to understand is why a patient might be not able to sequence the event very well, and understanding why the brain is responding that way and why trauma does this to the brain, and understanding that's not necessarily the patient lying, it's just the way the patient's brain is responding to the traumatic event they've experienced.
The 12 officers will join more than 80 law enforcement officers who have successfully completed the program. Recognizing the role that medical personnel play in the treatment of victims, officials decided to add a new training component to make them more aware of gender-based violence. Emergency medical personnel at the Princess Margaret Hospital, Dr. Cordelia Nairn, and Police Press Liaison Officer Superintendent Shanton Knowles on the significance of this training to the effective execution of their day-to-day duties.
With training like this would be more targeted post the exposure, the sexual violence exposure, so that we can collect the forensic evidence as well as be more sensitive to the trauma that the patient would have endured. It is very important as we continue to see victims of sexual violence present to our department for treatment.
Randomly, we choose officers, frontline officers who are on patrols and who are most likely to get a call of a domestic dispute or even a sexual assault. And it is important that we keep up to date with our policy and, of course, the law. And that is why we are here today.